Hello YouTube, I am Armoury Reviews 1, or Tom, and today we have the first video in our week-long comic book week. Today's video is actually my second ever video for this. I was hoping to make more, and I will be. It's just hard to come up with ideas to make a fully fledged video like this. This is my thoughts on comics as a newcomer. And now, although most of you will probably say that this isn't strictly accurate, and that's true, but it's the closest I can get. I'm going to explain why. I have quite a lot of graphic novels actually. Half a shelf full. Not too many. Quite enough though. I got a few comics, a few other things, but I'm not deep into it yet. I'm not surrounded by it yet. But I'm starting to be. And that's why, because I'm in this transition of getting from buying the odd graphic novel to buying monthly comics and buying them regularly. I think I have enough information to give a valid opinion on this, but I'm still quite new. So I've, as I said, posted a note. Oh, these things are good. If anyone's been talking to me on Skype, you know how much I love these things. I've already got like another video plan on that. So yes, comic books, single issues versus trades. It's my first port of call. I personally, let's go with the upsides and downsides of each. Single issues are, you get them sooner. You don't have to wait for the trade. They come out every month on time, regularly, and then once a certain amount they come out, you get a trade. Just get them earlier. For me, there's just something about reading a single issue that's different and better. I like reading single issues, and this is one for someone who doesn't have that much money, or gets like pocket money. Although it is more expensive to get, like, for the Night of the Owls, for example, which I read in single issues, it's cheaper. Actually no, I read the Batman part of it. I read Batman and Nightwing. I didn't read like All-Star West or anything. So the collection of just the Batman ones is cheaper to get the trade than the single issues, but it spreads out the amount of time, the amount of money over time. So rather you either pay like a tenner for 7 issues down the line, or you can pay like 99p for 15 issues. Well, no, you can pay like 2 quid for the same amount. So you know, it's 4 quid more, but you spread it over like 6 months, 7 months. So you know, you can buy a lot more. You can have a wider range rather than just spending all your money on one thing. I like having a range. Downsides is that it is more expensive. You have to worry about like picking them up, which I like. I'm going down every weekend anyway. And you get adverts, which I hate, although admittedly on the back of Batman issue 18 you do have Bioshock Infinite, which is fine. I haven't played it yet, no spoilers. So yeah, that's the difference between trades and single issues. I like single issues. There's just something about them, and you get the cover, and you know, I'm gonna get my comic book box soon. I'm gonna like flick through my single issues and find the ones that I want and organise them. And for someone who is a little bit OCD about the things I love, you know, I don't really care. Like, just see if you can have a look at my desk. It's quite messy. That's pretty much really out of focus. Did you see that? There you go. Really, really messy. But yeah, for things that I love, like comic books and my figures, and everything needs to be in its place, and I love doing that. I love organising things like this. So that is one reason. I also hate ruining covers. For example, like, oh god, when I'm reading Autoxim, I know this isn't technically a trade, but like I bend the cover over a lot, and I don't like ruining the cover, and you don't ruin the covers of those when you do that. So yeah, I'd like to hear your opinions on all of these, actually. What do you prefer, single issues or trades? What do you buy? Like, do you wait for the trades, or do you buy the single issues? And why? And yeah, I like going down to my comic book shop every week and picking up this week's amount of orders, because, as I said in my announcement video, Batman comes out second week of the month, Nightwing comes out on the 3rd, and I think Regeneration 1 Other comes out on the 3rd or the 4th. So I'm going in every week anyway. Yeah, my next one. This is a big one. Physical or digital? This one is quite the debate. There are very good reasons, mainly for the digital. You'll probably guess I like my physical. There's something about going to a shop and picking up, or going through the boxes and sort of just going through them and like, oh, no, having that. I'll have that. Oh look, there's Saga. I haven't read, but it looks quite cool. Looks quite interesting. The covers are really cool and it's good, well praised. You know, I'd go in and I'd see something on the shelf and think that's cool. I'll get that. Whereas, and you can pick it up and you can have a little flick through to look at it, and whereas, you know, on digital you get the first 3 preview pages. They don't really give you much. And there's a lot, because there's so much on a digital store, it's hard to just pick out the best ones and pick out the ones that you'd like. Although, saying that, I do browse on digital. I do have the Comixology app on my tablet, and every so often I'll just go through the most popular, and if there's something interesting, like, I quite like the look of Peter Panzerfaust. Looks quite cool. Also, Thief of Thieves. I think they're both Image comics, actually. I'm not too sure. Yeah, and they look quite interesting. And I was thinking, if I end up dropping any of the ones I'm getting now, I might put an order down for one of those. So that's one up for digital. Digital is good for browsing, but I just like finding things. Like, I can't get onto that a bit later actually as well. Now, the actual reading of the... Oh, and sometimes it can be more expensive or cheaper getting it digital or physical. It can go either way, so that's not really an argument. Space is quite a big one. If you have a lot of space, you can afford to get physical. If you don't, digital is probably the only way to go. Although I make space. I've got a whole... you can't see it. Where that box is at the moment is going to be my comic book box when I get it. So yeah, there's the last thing is reading the comic. In physical, you get your straight, not going to open that one, I haven't read that yet. Like, if I just pull out Nightwing, pick out a page, like, you know, you just get that, yeah? And I like that, although admittedly I don't like the artwork in this book, that's beside the point. On digital, if this is on, it is. This is the Spotlight Thundercracker, but you get the backlight. And some things really, really stand out being backlit, Transformers especially, because it actually makes them look shiny. And the light works so well in... Oh wow. You can use the volume button to go down pages. That's amazing. So yeah, that's the other thing. If you like backlights, if you're reading a lot at night, physical is the way to go. Because you'd think a backlight would be good for nighttime. It's not. It's better for daytime when there'd be glare, because it gets rid of that. But you know, with this doesn't hurt your eyes to read it at night. So yeah, that is your option. I like physical. I go digital if there's something that's really hard to find. By the looks of it, I'm going to be going digital on Cyborg 009. It's really hard to find that in English physically, because it's if any of you don't know, it's written by Shoto Ishinomori, the writer and creator of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. Quite a light-hearted superhero manga. Looks quite interesting. And yeah, so hard to find things digital is better. Please, what do you think? What are your thoughts on physical versus digital? I prefer physical. I also, just to quickly add, actually no, we'll leave that to the next one. The last point that I want to talk about is ordering something and getting it delivered, or going to the store. This does come into physical or digital, because I'm talking about physical here. Again, this comes down to if you can find it. I used to order a lot for the things I bought, but recently, after sort of finding the comic book shop, it's in some weird back street of my... It's in I don't think any of you know this, but Chatham High Street it's quite long, and his comic book shop, the American comic shop, is off a street at the end where there's nothing. Actually, there's a KFC and some fruit shops. That's it. And his is on that end. Admittedly, it's probably cheaper to have the store there. And it's not hard to find once you know where it is, but yeah, it's a bit annoying. But once I found it, you know, you can go in and you can flick through the boxes, and I love doing that. Like, I love going to Game, looking through the pre-orders and just going, oh, no, yeah, nah. You know, I like flicking through and finding things. But I also like talking to people. The comic shop owner, he is really cool. He remembered me after seeing me once, remembered all of my orders without having to look at his computer. Which was amazing. And he remembered my name and who I was and what I liked. I can talk to him and ask him, you know, would he recommend anything for me? And we can talk about what's out, and because we talk, he can learn sort of what to order for the customers that he gets, what best to order for them, so that they'll come in and pick things off the shelves. Also, you know, you find posters and you find toys, because he has a couple of Deadpool toys which I really want, and he has the Marvel Select Iron Man Mark 7. But yeah, and it's just so fun to just go in and find things and flick through and be standing in a room full of people that like the same thing as you. And you just don't get that through ordering or through digital. And you don't really get that through trades, because he sells mostly comic books. And if you go for trades, you're probably going to Waterstones. So, that's my... being someone who is quite social in the right circumstances. Singlish use physical from a store is the best way to go for comics. But, you know, if you don't have time, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the space, then it's perfectly fine to go digital or to order them or to get the trades. But there's just something about physicals from stores and talking to people and asking people what they think. And for example, when I went in on Saturday, I walked in and there were like 3 people standing around the comics just talking. And, you know, he allows people to just sort of stand there and talk and be social, because there's not really anywhere else you can go. And it's a really nice atmosphere. And it's one that I'm going to enjoy on the coming weeks of this year, and as long as I can go with the Comic Cash. So, I am Armoury Reviews 1. I'm Tom. That's my thoughts on comics as a fairly newcomer. You'll be looking forward, or hopefully be looking forward, to my number 5 best graphic novel that I own. I think you'll be quite surprised. I will also say, with the top 5, I will, as I release them, I'll release them as like Comic Book Week, or like top 5, number 5, question mark, question mark, question mark. and after a few days I'll change it to what it actually is, so that you don't know what it is until I've said it in the video. So yeah, next 5 days you'll be having those, and then on Sunday you get the first comic cache. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are. I've been Armoury Reviews 1, Tom. Thank you for watching.